So the QR code has hit on Raw, and it's a bit of a strange one, to be honest with you. Not as deep, seemingly, as what we've seen in the past. This one, it brings us to this. It brings us to this countdown clock. This countdown clock is going to take us to the start of Raw next week. And obviously, the 17th, everything's been pointing to the 17th. And so now we've got this countdown clock. And I believe it takes us to the very beginning of Raw. As well as that, we've got all of these Plutos in the backgrounds. And I thought there was a very good point made by Crimson. I would show you, I think the tweet has now been deleted, that it does look like, if you count these up, it looks like there's about 17 Plutos in the backgrounds. And obviously 17 is a number that we've seen repeated quite a lot because of June 17th. Everything's pointing towards next week, Raw, Corpus Christi. We've had like coordinates point into Corpus Christi. Things, the first letter in the journal obviously said June XV11, which is June 17. So there's been a lot kind of pointing to next week's Raw, and now we've got this countdown, right? So I don't think there was any doubt about when we were expecting this group to arrive. But this countdown's pretty fun. And I want to shout out Matt as well, who's tried to play around with this. Apparently, you can go into the source codes, kind of mess around with it and see if you can move the time and try and get it down and see what happens. Unfortunately, it seems to go to 0. I mean, I'm not aware that anything happens if you do change the clock. Nothing shows itself. There's no message or anything like that. So doesn't appear to be anything there. There doesn't appear to be any hidden words here. Doesn't appear to be anything you can click apart from the NIGHTBIRD logo and the Pluto symbol, right? They're the only two things that kind of click. So we did get, obviously, the QR code flashing up on screen. And we do need to look at that because there was a couple of phrases that flashed up as well. It took us to Exordium, which is a word I'm not familiar with. This was the URL, wwe.com/Exordium. And this means beginning or induction. So obviously next week's going to be the beginning. It's going to be the introduction. It's going to be, I'm guessing, the exordium of this group. So that was the URL. If we click on the bird at the top, this has got the Dakar file name, which it's had throughout the whole campaign. You might remember that this logo has been at the bottom previously in previous QR codes. But if you click it, then you get to the Kintsugi journal, and there is a new entry. I would say this is the big new thing that we got. And it's called Consequences. Now, again, if we look at the first letter, nothing seems to show itself. But this is what it says. It says, I reached out my hand and I offered salvation. They buried their heads in the dirt. Pathetic. Hide while you can. Soon your eyes will boil as you witness what we have become. The prophecy fulfilled. The sky turned to blood. Do not fight it. Drown in your entropy. So obviously we know a massacre is on the way. It seems like the warning was sent that the massacre was on the way, and it seems like people have buried their heads in the dirt. They haven't listened. Pathetic. And obviously we're saying that the sky's going to turn to blood. Don't try and fight back. Next week, next Monday, there is going to be a massacre. Or at least the group's going to arrive, and that will herald the beginning of the massacre, or the exordium, maybe, if that's how you use that word. I really don't know. But yeah, Consequences. This was the new entry in the journal. So we got that when you click on the top. When you click on the Pluto at the bottom, then it just takes you to this. I'm not aware of anything new here. It has been pointed out that if you click this, it doesn't take you to the still image anymore. It actually takes you to the video that we got the other day. So, but we had that the other day, so it's not new. I'm not aware of anything new here. I'm not aware of, I think does that still take you to Kintsugi? And it does. So, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing There's just nothing new. There was nothing in the source codes. That was it, really. It's one of those that you're kind of left scratching your head going, no, there must be something that I'm missing. Because they've been so deep. I can't even find anything that points to like Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday and so it's left me very confused. Shout out to Mr. B, who pointed out that Exordium is a song by Black Veil Brides, which I think is kind of fun. Obviously, we've been seeing a bride under a veil, so that's kind of a fun reference. So I like that. We've spoke about how the Pluto symbol at the bottom, where that takes you, that was titled Rebirth. So we know that that's what the Pluto symbol stands for, but it was titled Rebirth. And I think that was kind of all the stuff, to be honest. If we flip over and have a little look in the folder, you can see Matt was trying to get it to say we're here, or trying to get it to say something, but we just couldn't get it to do anything like that, unfortunately. So bit of a dead end, but it was a really good try. We've got the QR code here and the moment that it actually hits. But the main things we're interested in are these two messages. Your patience will be rewarded. Your impatience will be punished. So a couple of messages when the QR code hit. We also saw who we think is Joe Gacy, one of the blurred guys, that we can't make out the identity. We've seen that before. And we also saw the Funhouse TV. So we did get those, and we got these messages as well. Here, look, you can see, looks like countdown to next week, a new journal entry, and Exordium means beginning. And that's it. I mean, that is it. I would love to sit here and give you loads of like stuff which is like, you know, deep in thought, deep in theory, all that kind of stuff. But apart from a few like thoughts, general thoughts out there, like there's not much, to be honest. There's nothing that's really deep and really like mind-blowing. I do like the Pluto thing. I think that's kind of clever, to be honest. But outside of that, I mean, we can just jump and see what's being tagged and see what people are saying at the moment. See if there's any other little bits here. Look, see WrestleMania saying it's counting down to next week. There was one that I saw that I was sort of interested in, a bit of smoke, but I don't think that was anything. During one of the matches, there was another. Oh, it looks like we've got the Uncle Howdy song has been played, so it looks like that's gone down. Michelle saying, not sure if it means anything, but the 17 Plutos could point towards this film. Pluto out in 2017. I think it's probably more to do with the. It's probably more to do with the whole June 17th, personally, but maybe that film's worth looking at. And then this as well, we've got next week at Raw, we're 77 days away from the beginning of NIGHTBIRD QR codes. Could that connect to like a Bible reference? Potentially. I mean, I don't know that there's any meaning in that, to be honest. I think that they have just identified this as the place they want to land, but could have some reference. See what I mean? Like some good thoughts, but nothing that's like, oh my God, you know, mind-blowing. Uncle Howdy playing in the arena. 1119's not a new video. No, people look and see if there's anything new there. Don't think there is. Confirmed, can't wait. Brings back some memories. I think that's just the standard clock font, really. Digital clock kind of font. So I don't think there's anything really much in that. Bray Wyatt. There it was. That was the one that had all the Plutos being counted up, which I thought was very, very good. And that is it. That is it. That looks like everything. So there was the face. We've kind of seen this before. We believe this to be Joe Gacy. We think these are candles in front, but we have had that before. But that's it. That's everything that I'm kind of seeing. All the stuff that I'm being sent. If you have seen anything else, obviously let us know. But we'll keep our eyes peeled as we continue to move forwards. And I don't know that we get anything else, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do get another journal entry this week. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.